Yeah.
And this is where the police meet her. When you're in here,
It's into this window, and she said she saw that woman, and she was like this. She was like this. Same shot you just saw there, of course, is one body, and we think that's another body there. Dos míos, llame boy. The Tate property stood, and this thing manifested. Yeah, let's get out of here.
We have a weird homicide.
In a scene described by one investigator as reminiscent of a weird religious rite, 5 persons, including actress Sharon Tate, were found dead at the home of Miss Tate and her husband, screen director Roman Polanski.
Alrighty guys, today we are heading up to Cielo Drive to where the Manson family murders happened. We are going to check out the site, discuss the crime, check out some crime scene photos, and see where the housekeeper ran to meet the police. And we are going to meet a man who built a house right outside the gate, and it could be the most haunted house ever. Is it the Mount Everest of haunted houses? Now, it's been featured on Ghost Adventures, multiple TV shows, and a movie was made about it from the producer of Amityville Horror. Now, some paranormal investigators will never return to this house after what has happened there. So you have to come with me today. You do not want to miss this one.
2 bodies inside, 2 bodies outside.
Among the other victims were Hollywood hairstylist Jay Sebring and coffee heiress Abigail Folger.
Alrighty guys, am I at the most haunted house? Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna take a walk through the house. We're gonna meet David Oman, and we're gonna find out just what happened in this house. We'll check it out. Alrighty guys, just so you know, this is David Oman. Let me, it's gonna track my face, but
Sure.
This is him right here. Now, he's got the Oman House here in Los Angeles. You have to check it out. I'm going to post some links below. There's a movie. I want to find out more about it, and I've done other Manson vlogs, and we're going to check out his house, and we're going to hear more about what's going on over here. So let's go check it out. Alrighty.
So this is the infamous driveway.
Okay.
All went down. This house, which is being totally eviscerated and remodeled to the bone, was original. This was here during the murders, and I'll tell you further more about that house.
Alrighty. Absolutely.
At the White House down there is also original. It's been remodeled extensively,
Yes.
but it's an original house. This house and my house and the house next door are totally brand new.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Tate property here, which you're looking at, where it stood, is totally unique in the sense that the gate sits about 20 feet.
This gate right here, this is the driveway.
This is the driveway that led up to where it was. And the property, the Tate gate sat another 20 feet plus in.
Okay.
There's a vacant lot in between the house and the Tate gate.
Okay.
Where the property is. And the reason why the Tate address is now 10,066
Yes.
is because they bought the empty lot, which was 10,066.
Okay.
And when they incorporated that into the Tate property, that ended up becoming the new address.
Oh, okay.
There's this bullshit of, getting the address changed because of the murders.
Right.
Is bullshit. You can't do that legally.
Right.
But when you buy a lot and you bring it into the next door lot, the first lot becomes the previous address.
Okay.
The entire property.
So the reason that the address was changed was because they actually bought the empty lot ahead. That allowed them to change the address, and that brought the gate out more.
Exactly.
Further from where the Tate gate was.
Right.
Authorities would allow no one in an unofficial capacity inside the posh $200,000 home.
Telephone pole right there is not original. The telephone pole was over here on this side. Very, very interesting. But that's the hillside right there. Housekeeper ran right here to this house. They didn't answer the door. On that night, they did not answer the door. So she runs over
to this house, and the 16-year-old son of the owner was there, and she basically met the police here and told them what she found.
Okay. So this is right. This house is original.
Yeah.
And this is where the police meet her.
Yeah.
And she tells them
The story.
what's going on.
They were discovered this morning by a maid who ran screaming to neighbors.
The whole thing, they debrief her in this house, and then she goes to the property and shows them what had happened.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 25 years ago in 1998,
Yeah.
how do you end up here?
My father calls me up Sunday morning and says, I found a piece of real estate that's in the Los Angeles Times classified ads. I said, Dad? He said, it's $40,000. I said, a piece of real estate in Beverly Hills for $40,000? That's impossible. And I meet him up here at this location. And we look, and it's pretty much just a hillside. Like, here's the hillside here. If you notice, this is continuation. It's just empty, vacant land, just like this. This is untouched. So it's this all the way there.
So you just have an empty piece of
hillside. So we ended up buying the lot. Turns out that 20 years earlier, somebody had owned the lot and started building. So we got the lot in 1999 in January, and it cost us $40,000.
That's incredible. And then did you start building right away?
Well, we had to go through the city and the Building and Planning Commission, which took us another 6 to 8 months and going through the neighbors and getting easements, because they said, as far as these houses concerned, when you'll go inside, you'll see that these two houses that were original are only 50 feet high. So it took us about 3 3/4 years from the time we purchased it. I moved in August of 2002.
Okay, so you move in
August
2002. Now, let's get to it. What happens?
Stuff was happening during the construction. See, people think it's like, oh, you moved in. It's like, no. We knew during construction this place
something was going on.
Interesting. When we first bought the lot in January, my first cat, Arthur, died. And we basically decided I was going to bury him on the hillside. So literally, my friend and I went down probably about to where this tree is here, maybe about 10 feet down the slope, and we buried him. And as we were doing so, I remember saying to him, I said, you know something, I don't feel alone. I said, I feel like there's a whole group of somebody's like a whole mourning crowd with us and a group with us to mourn with me. And I said, he goes, I didn't want to say something. He said, but I feel the same thing. I don't feel we're alone, embracing us. And I said, well, I'm letting the spirits know that I am taking this land and making this my home for the rest of my life. So we built the house, and during construction, as the floors are going up, I'm walking around and I almost feel like I can hear somebody coming up behind me. And I was going to say, David, and I say, yeah, what? And I turn around, there's no one there. The guys, the laborers that are all 5 of them are from El Salvador that are working on the place, who have no idea about the Sharon Tate murders and don't know anything about the history of the area, are sitting there asking me, why are tools missing from going from one room and they're not where they're supposed to be, and the next minute they're finding them in another room. And I'm going, look, I have no idea about that. I'm not messing with your tools. What do you think I am? I mean, after the job and stuff. And I said, no. Then they tell me, 6 months before we're done, I line up the guys. I said, look, have any of you guys had any weird experiences here? And one guy says, yeah. And these guys are between the ages of 16 and 36. The 36-year-old is the 16-year-old's father. He says, I'm out here in the middle of summer, July last year, 6 months ago, and I'm on the 3rd floor working. And I hear voices and footsteps coming from the top floor. Mind you, 6 o'clock on the last one here. Because I come up here and I look around and said, Senor Paul, Senor David. And he looks at the whole top floor, nothing. He comes outside and he looks and he says, the street is empty in both directions. I said, well, God, I've been up here at 7 o'clock in the afternoon on a summer day, and it's sunny and bright and it's warm, and there's no one here either. And he goes, yeah, well, I don't get it. So I go back downstairs and I start working. 5 minutes later, I hear voices and footsteps on the top floor. So I come running up and I'm looking, and it's like, you know something? There's no one here. That's it. I'm done. Starts going downstairs, packing his bags. He hears the footsteps coming down the spiral staircase. And he says it's wooden treads, and he hears the sounds of leather-soled shoes hitting the wooden treads as it's getting louder and louder. So he gets into the other room and he's sitting there waiting and waiting. He goes, it got so loud, it got to the landing and it stopped. And he comes out and he's looking around at the landing, and there's nothing there. And the landing of the staircase is a 11-foot high opening that's 8 feet wide that opens straight into the stairwell. And he goes, all of a sudden it happens. He says this like ice cube runs across the back of his neck, and he says it's above his shoulder blades, below his hairline, and he goes, stands straight up, and he goes, dos míos, llame boy, which translated from Spanish means, oh my God, I'm leaving. And he said, I hauled ass out, and I didn't come back for 6 weeks. I said, that's when you told the other guys you were taking care of your sick mother in San Salvador. And he goes, yeah. I said, where were you? Because I was working at their jobs. I said, why did you come back? He goes, because I didn't get paid for the prior 3 weeks. So that's kind of the stuff that's happened. That's before we moved in.
Incredible.
And not even me. And again, the kid, the San Salvadorian kid, who's 28 years old, doesn't know anything. Is just like...
He has no idea what happened next door.
Nothing. So come on inside and take a look at the place.
Alrighty, guys. So
you hang outside
we're
there.
Inside
Be good.
The house. We're going to check it out and hear a few stories.
Yeah, as I said with the Ghost Adventures show, they were here. And by the way, what are you feeling, Cass? Anything?
Yeah.
If you feel, and obviously, Cass, you're an unbiased, witness. If you feel anything, say, I'm feeling this, and don't be shy about it. It's important that you communicate with us. You're totally okay. Whatever you feel, it's perfectly all right. Because I've had kids here, and they've said they've seen stuff here, and I said, like what? We had my friend's daughter who was about Cass. How old are you, Cass? 10?
12.
12. All right. They were in. She went into the bathroom, and she was looking in the window, and she says she came running, and she saw a woman. I saw a woman. I said, what? And she goes, she was in the window, and she was hanging like this on the windowsill on the outside. I said, wow. What? And I said, I got to videotape this. So I took the camera. I said, can you tell us exactly what you... And she described this woman with long black hair. And she says it was straggly with long fingernails, she said. And she was kind of like pale ashen white. And she was looking in the window, and she went like this. And she goes, she slowly dropped down behind the window. And that's the window over there.
So this is the window right here.
This is the window. It was just like this. Well,
a child is here.
Yeah, my friend's daughter, they were from Australia.
And she looks over.
She looks up into this window, and she said she saw that woman, and she was like this. She went like this. And then she goes, she slowly dropped down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's surreal. There's other things going on that are unexplained.
By the way, check out the black raven that's going to be flying right by. It just flew by. They come by because I put out scraps for them to munch on the balcony. And they've been coming by for the past couple of months. So they literally will swoop by, and you go, oh my God, look at the raven. They're big, beautiful black birds. They're gorgeous.
This is your movie.
That's my movie, House at the End of the Drive.
The executive producer of the Amityville Horror.
That was my friend Paul Mason, who passed away 2 years ago, yes.
House at the End of the Drive.
Yes. And this is Lance Henriksen autograph.
Okay. Now, if people watching want to go and check out the movie, because I've seen it on there, are they going to the houseattheendofthedrive.com?
Yeah, there's a link in houseattheendofthedrive.com that'll take them to Vimeo, where they can rent the movie. Okay. It's $3.99 for a 3-day rental. It's fun. It's a good movie. Everybody that's seen it has said, I really enjoyed it. It's like, I'm proud. It really makes me a warm heart. But the house has got 25 cameras. There's also 5 cameras outside. There's one on the balcony. There's one on the side of the house. There's 3 in the front. And there's one in the garage as well.
So this is...
That's the film.
The film.
And I've got photographs, speaking of the murders to share with you.
Alrighty, guys. So we're going to check out some photos, ghosts, murder. Let's check it out.
These are the 2 houses we were just in front of. This is back in the day.
Okay.
So this, of course, is the house next door to mine, and we are literally right next door. This is the spot where that new house is. And you see this? Here's the empty lot that I referenced. There's the telephone pole. You see it's on this side of the street.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And these are the police cars. So the actual fence is right there. And there's Stephen Parent's car.
Okay. Okay.
And of course, there's one of the bodies, and there's probably been another body right there.
Right.
But this is all, like I said, this is the vacant lot that was here, that when they bought this, when they bought the Tate property, they bought this and incorporated this into this.
Right, and it allowed them to change the address.
Exactly.
That's absolutely incredible to see that.
Yeah, now this is the blow up. I actually have the original, I mean, I can show you, is the actual photograph that you just saw. It's just a smaller, this is an 8x10 print from about 20 years ago.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible to see that.
Yeah, and then this, of course, is the same shot.
That's incredible.
And of course, these are pictures of Stephen Parent's car, and they're doing fingerprinting, and there's the coroner going in. This is the way it looked at the end of the drive, the day of the murders. Of course, there's Stephen Parent's car.
Yeah.
There's Jay Sebring's Porsche. There's Abigail Folger's Firebird.
Incredible.
Yeah, and you can see the telephone, the wires to the power wires and the telephone wires that were cut. Is that same shot you just saw there? Of course, is one body, and we think that's another body there.
That's incredible.
Yeah. This, of course, is that same photo we just saw, but this is the actual photograph, the actual print.
Oh, okay. That's the actual print of
Right.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And this, of course, is the actual inside, a close-up. And there's the famous wishing well that Sharon was so in love with and enamored with when she, Cameron Dispergan
Oh, right there.
was living at the property with Terry Melcher. She was like saying, if you ever move out, because I want to rent this place. I love it because I love that wishing well so much.
That's what Sharon...
Yeah, that's how she knew about the property, was because of them. And of course, this is when we bought, well, this is actually a photograph of the long shot of the driveway and the property. This is where we are. These are the two original homes.
Yep.
Pre-remodel, and this is, of course, where the Tate property stood, and that was torn down in 1994. This is how it was, like I mentioned to you. This is when we bought it. This is what it looked like.
Yep, there's your
so
inside.
you can see the rebar.
Yep.
You can see the rebar right there. This is after we cleared the debris off and the dirt off and all the vegetation, and this is what we were left with. So you could see clearly.
So there's your lot when you
purchased the lot when
it.
we bought it. Exactly.
Late 90s.
Late 90s, right. This picture is, of course, of the driveway leading up to and where the two houses were.
Yep.
I'm trying to see if, that's what I was looking for. This is 1968. So this house is this house is this is the house that's been built since.
Right.
And this is the driveway leading up, so you can see the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a nice ability to have one from more recent.
Yeah,
and the
so that
old.
you see the difference, right?
This is a picture of Sharon Tate. Somebody gave me a print of Sharon.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful photo.
Yeah, it's a great picture of her.
Yeah, that is a great picture of her.
This is her in her bikini shot. I've got to get these things framed and matted and framed.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are beautiful photos of her.
There's another photo of Sharon.
Wow.
There's another photo of Sharon.
Just incredible, eh? When you look at that.
Yeah.
To think just the evil
26
that's in
years old and
the world.
pregnant. Unbelievable. This is a photograph. I'm going to show you the original, the actual photo. This is the blow-up, obviously, but it works for a purpose. The larger the image, the greater the detail you can get into. Now, mind you, this is the original. Now, yes, it's the colors are a little bit different, but the fact of the matter is I can see greater detail in the enlargement.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see the woman's purse is open. You can see the purse is open. You can see the pillow.
Absolutely.
The outlines of the pillows.
And was that in this room or down? It was right here behind. So
if you want, I can do this.
Right here in this room. Oh, yeah, so there's the fireplace.
Right.
And there's where the image appears.
That's right over this couch. The couch would have been sitting right diagonally there. So the photographs I'm about to share with you, and mind you, when I'm taking the pictures, I'm just not like going, oh, spirit, smile.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're just
I'm
trying to
like
capture
this.
whatever you can.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And this was shot on the 35th, again, that was shot on the 35th anniversary of the murders, August 9th, 2004. This was shot on August 9th, 2004. This was shot in this room, and that's right here, shooting it that way. We were shooting it this way towards, because that's right here on the counter.
Yeah.
And look at these two things, and it can't be the camera strap. Camera strap is black.
Yeah.
This changes colors, and it's translucent. It's transparent and translucent right there, and then it goes from blue, light dark blue to a light blue to a black right here, which is obscuring this whole thing.
Right.
It's, it's hard to say what it is.
Yeah, that was on the anniversary.
The 35th anniversary of the murders.
Of the murders.
The first investigation that was held here at the house was on that night.
And you're literally a few hundred feet from
The Sharon Tate
property.
murders.
Property.
And in spite of the fact that we're close proximity to the murders, it has more to do with the fact that had those murders not occurred, this house would still be vastly haunted.
Yes.
Because the EMF levels are so elevated.
Yes.
It's more for the spirits' benefit that they visit here
Right.
than anything. This was shot 3 weeks after that, and you see this right here. We were videoing this investigation here. This is the second investigation. The woman says, I'm feeling a presence of an energy. She's over my shoulder. She's finding it difficult to speak. So I take the picture. This is full color. There's no infrared light, so that's not a speck of dust reflecting on an infrared light. That's what she says. She goes, he's over my left shoulder. So where's the spirit? Right where she says she's supposed to be, over her left shoulder. This is Dr. Barry Taff. This is a geomagnetometer. This is my publicist friend who's here. And Barry said, he goes, we're getting a spike on the geomagnetometer. And this manifested right here on the side of the frame, which shouldn't have been there.
And near the stairs.
Near the stairs.
Where your construction worker.
Exactly. This is how the stairs used to look at the bottom of the stairs. This is going into the third floor. There used to be a curtain that hung down 11 feet. And this is the entryway into. This is where the contract laborer had the experience, right here. Because this is right outside the door, which is where they are right in.
That's just incredible.
Yeah.
Like I'd mentioned earlier, if there's a Mount Everest of haunted houses,
you're in it.
You would think this would be it. I mean,
Barry Taft
that's close.
Barry Taft, Dr. Barry Taft referred to this house as the Mount Everest of haunted houses and the Disneyland for the dead.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, of all these pictures are probably, how should we say, probably of 350 photographs, these are the ones that that captured something. And again, this going from the dining room into the living room shouldn't be there. This is the pregnant orb in the balcony window right there where the screen's open and the windows are open.
Yeah.
Yet right here there's this something inside of something else orb.
That's just incredible. And I can tell you guys, if you can't see this with my cameras, I can see it as I'm here. So it may not show up as well as I want it to, but I'm looking at the photos and the orbs are there.
And then you got this manifestation here right above the headboard in my bedroom. Again, 35 millimeter, 400 speed film, I do believe this one was. And then this one, which is looking right into the doorway, the entryway here. This painting is replaced by that painting. That's the doorway going into the bathroom. And this thing manifests.
Check that out, guys.
And it shouldn't be there. It's not like I see it. I just take the picture when we develop the film.
You don't see it until you actually
develop the film.
Photo.
Which, that's old school because they don't, it's hard to get that done. This is going in from the dining room into the living room where there's a fireplace.
Right.
And this thing manifests. And look, it's not here. And it changes colors. Look at the colors it changes. And this is, again, 35 millimeter high-speed film.
That's incredible.
The only good thing about a blow-up is you can see greater detail than you can on the photograph.
Absolutely. And you have to wonder, right? What is that?
And I want to say a shout out to Joey Moss because I saw you were looking at the first Sharon Tate portrait that I got, which he painted. I mean, I've got a lot of his artwork in the house. He generously gave me that like around 10, 15 years ago now. And then he also has done the big douchebag, little douchebags.
Oh, that's very cool.
He says, I told him, I said, I'm going to put them in a frame. I think they deserve to be framed. He goes, why? I said, because they're art. And he also did the poster of Capitol Records. He did the poster, he did the rendition of the portrait of the house. He also did the portrait of Sharon Tate #2.
Look at that, guys. How
Great
cool
piece.
That's a great piece.
I love that piece.
It is the centerpiece of any room. I watched a lot of your content on your channel. I have not watched the movie yet, but I'm going to watch the movie. And I'm going to read the book. But there are inexplicable things that happen in this house.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, like with Ghost Adventures, with all the things I watched, the recliner open up, the door locks. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, take a look at this, by the way, Chris. Well, I didn't want that to dim. They've knocked over the Beetlejuice figurines. I'll put them back up. But they've definitely knocked these two down, the little bows.
Wow. You definitely feel an energy.
We haven't even gone...
Yeah, exactly.
Downstairs. By the way, Joey's also responsible for the Ouija board planchette table that he made.
That is great.
The spirits, because like I said, the spirits I feel are with us. And we're part responsible for having you come here, apparently. Walk down this way and see if you feel anything going this way.
It's a different
on the
energy.
runway. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a different energy. So now we're going to the, as you call it, the basement, which I call the third level.
Yes.
Which is comprised of the UCLA man cave. Next to that is the theater room, and then next door is the guest bedroom, and of course, the earthen wall room, which you call the basement.
The basement.
This is the third level. You're in the theater room right here.
Oh wow.
How do you feel the energy in here, Cass? You feel it. See, she feels it. How about you,
I
Chris?
feel it right away.
Isn't that amazing?
No,
there's no explanation for it.
No, when you're in here,
it's different.
Like I'm almost lightheaded. Like it's a different energy in here. I can see why they do a lot of paranormal investigations here. I can see why the Ghost Adventures program was here. I mean, it's a different energy in here, David.
This is the room that Nick went into, that room, and he says he saw that energy walking through and stuff, and he threw his camera down.
Yeah.
It's
a different energy in here, for sure.
Now watch what happens when we go into this room, which is the guest bedroom, and see if it feels different.
Yeah, it feels different, but I found for me, that room has a lot different energy.
Oh yeah. Wow. And this is the bathroom that people have gotten locked in from the inside. They couldn't get out.
I can't explain it.
No.
More so though, for me in that room.
Oh, we haven't even finished. Forget it. We're going to what you call the basement. That's what I want to show you, which is what you were asking about earlier. This is the earthen wall. Is the earthen wall room.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
That is...
you feeling anything, Cass?
It's a pretty crazy feeling, eh?
But it's different than in there, in there. Each one is uniquely like a compartment.
Each one is unique, and we're right at the earthen wall.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is under the house.
This is under the house. We are under the house.
Let me ask you, Chris, what are you feeling?
It's a different energy for sure.
Are you feeling any like pain or pressure anywhere on your
No,
head?
not pain or pressure. Just when I walked in there, it's a lightheadedness almost.
Right.
And in here, it's a different energy.
Right.
It's not the same as in that room. Like each room has its own energy for sure.
Yeah. Well, right now, right above my jaw, it hurts. Like I feel like pressure point.
Yeah. And I could see that you would capture things on that security camera.
Oh, there's one behind you here on the wall right there.
I feel
Yeah, let's get out of here. I
good-
can't.
good choice.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
when you go in this room,
Yeah.
you go in that room and you go underneath the house, it is 3 different energies. There's no question. So the fact that people do paranormal investigations here
And seances and stuff.
and seances,
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that was intense.
yeah, that was. To be honest with you, that was
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And we're heading back upstairs, guys. So I can tell you that when we went downstairs underneath the house, we went in each room and there were definitely different energies. As soon as I walked into one room, there was a lightheadedness. There were different energies for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you that house at the end of the drive.
That's where they died.
It's where they died. Alrighty, David. Thank you very, very much.
My pleasure, Chrissy.
Alrighty, guys, we are wrapping this up. We are out at the house at the end of the drive, and it is absolutely surreal to see where it all happened, and then to come and you feel the energy in this house. When you go in each room and each level, it's a completely different energy, and I can't wait to check out that movie. But I'm really glad that you guys came along with me today. That was a really cool experience. So thank you to David Oman. Check out the Oman House here in Los Angeles. You can do more research, Google it. I know I did, and I found out a lot more before I even came to meet him. So anyway, until next time, guys, I always like to say, life is like a book, and I want to read it with you. Until next time, guys, peace.